So someday I want future OLs to know that even though students may not enjoy icebreakers, they're definitely really essential. Really great thing is just call them like fun games. They don't realize they're doing icebreakers, they're getting to know each other, so that's a fun thing to do with groups.
So one thing or tip that I wish I knew before starting this job was how much fun it would be. So make sure you take time for yourself, relax, do some things that aren't super high stress and loud noises, maybe chill a little bit, and I think you'll have a great summer. Good luck to you, OL9.
Yeah, so I think I just wish I would have known that like we're gonna have a lot of training, things like that, but not, I feel like I wish I would have known that every part of training is for a reason. I felt like all of my training was used for some type of incident this summer, and it really helped me deal with those situations. I felt really prepared. So I just take everything to heart and make sure you get the best of your training that you have.
One thing I really wish I had known before I started this job was how quickly that time with your students during the day is going to pass by. Because ultimately you only get something that feels like 3-4 hours of just concentrating, talking to them, getting to know them. A lot of it is taking them from one location to another, making sure they find you, playing games. So I wish I had known coming in that that time's going to pass by really quickly, so you got to make the most of it. You got to be purposeful with the questions you ask them, walking from one place to another, how you energize them, how you engage them, because before you know it, you're at the end of the day during community hokies and you just realize, wow, I'm not going to see these people for another month or two. And so those minutes that you have with them are really precious.
You're gonna get sick, make sure you buy cold medicine now.
So one thing I really wish I had known coming into orientation was just how important it really is when we say to make every day day one. That just because you might have had a rough group the day before, just because something might have happened that might have gotten you down, that every single day to start over fresh and to not hold that against the future group and to really just make everyone feel like today is the best day you're having, regardless of what might have happened the day before, and just be able to lean on your team around you to really support you in doing that.
My biggest piece of advice would definitely be don't overstress and overthink things during training, because once you're in the role, you know just what to do.
Hey future OLs, some tips and things to know. First, be prepared to lose your voice like I did. Lots of laundries and stuff. And I just want to say FOMO is real, so make sure you take time to your guys' self.
No matter how much you train, you're never going to be ready for everything, so rely on your team and your socks to help you out.
So one tip that I wish I would have known going into this role is I wish I would have known to get feedback cards. So after community hokies, what is a really good thing to do is to get feedback from your students, so that way each session you can improve upon things. Maybe they didn't like that you did one thing, or maybe they wish you did more. So just making sure you get feedback from your students, and it's kind of like a happy thing because they give you positive feedback, and it's kind of like reassuring yourself that you are doing a good job in this role.
One tip I have is to not doubt yourself. So you guys were hired for a reason. You guys have been training for this moment, and you guys are all amazing. So you're going to do great.
It's going to go by so fast, so enjoy every second that you can with the team. And also, you're going from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m., so start getting pumped for that, and then start working on your time management and sleep schedule regulation now. You can thank me later.
My biggest tip for you guys is just how important it is to be vulnerable during this job. They say it all the time, but it really makes a difference. And then also lean on each other a lot. When you're working long hours and you're tired, it's really nice to have someone picking you up at the end of the day.
Okay, one thing that I wish I had known before starting orientation week 1 is to know that every group that we have is going to be completely different. So we have one group one week that's super outgoing and super energetic, and then the next week I have another group who's just not as energetic. Maybe they're just not as talkative people, a bit more quiet people. But it doesn't mean they're not having a good time. It's just people just perceive the orientation experience differently. Just keep that in mind on your sessions.
So I think the biggest tip I have for y'all is that every single student you have is going to end up loving you in one way or another. On the first day you might have some jitters, but don't worry about those because you might be the first Hokie that they're meeting, so they're going to love you, they're going to love orientation, and y'all are going to do great.
So one thing I wish I knew when I started this job was that it's okay to make mistakes because the students don't expect you to be perfect, and if anything, they want you to be real with them, so don't worry about messing up. You'll mess up every now and again, but that's okay because they appreciate that you're the real you.
Just be yourself. The more that you open up to your students, the more that they're going to feel comfortable and will open up to you back. So
So my tip that I wish I knew week 1 was that you just have to have a positive mindset even if your group is not the best, even if they're quiet, and you got to make sure like you make it the best experience possible.
So one thing I would have done differently in the beginning that I wish I would have done is be more open with my students and like be more goofy and like try to get them comfortable and get them involved faster.
Okay, so one thing I guess I wish I knew is that you're really going to want to open up to your team. You probably know by now that this job is going to be very tiring, and when you're down or when you need something, your team's always going to be there for you, so lean on them and don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
I think the most important thing to know when you come into this job is that you should be confident in yourself and not afraid to be vulnerable and silly and make your students comfortable.
I think looking back on it, one thing that I wish that I had known at the beginning of all of this is just to be happy, go with the flow. There's a lot of little things that could stress you out throughout the day, but it's not worth being in a bad attitude over. There's a lot of things to enjoy and find joy in, so find the joy in those things at all times.
Hey future orientation leaders, something I wish I knew coming in as an orientation leader is just to take every day as a new day. Every day's day one, and just make the most out of it and take it easy and enjoy. That's all I've got to say.
First thing I wish I had known before starting the job was that if you're sitting in a room full of awkward silence during lunch, don't freak out. I always had people pair up with a partner and introduce their partner to the group, and that way everyone always had someone to talk to. Secondly, pair up with other groups before Community of Hokies to do icebreakers. It's a great way to get them to know some other students that they haven't met that day.